Scooter. Check this out. There's anywhere but here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about anywhere but here.
What's anywhere but here? Anywhere but here in Mississippi?
No, man, anywhere but here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere but here podcast.
Hello and welcome to Anywhere But Here this week, episode 34. I'm Tom.
I'm Ant.
Hi. We have a website that you can go and visit. It's www.abhpod.com.
We have a Twitter which is abhpod. I was going to say individually on Hey It's Ant.
And I'm Hey It's Me Tom. We have a Facebook site which is facebook.com/abhpod.
And we have a YouTube where you can watch us do the talking that you're listening to now, which is youtube.com/abhpodcast.
And the videos go up 2 days after the audio goes out.
Usually.
We go up on iTunes and Stitcher. Just in case you don't have an iPod, you can listen to it on your Android device.
Yes, you can
Stitcher.
download the Stitcher app and you can subscribe to us there. You can download them or you can stream them if you don't want it taking up your space.
And on all of those, you can comment and rate and subscribe and thumbs up and share and like and all the rest of it.
Yeah, you definitely can.
And all that helps.
Especially on iTunes and Stitcher, they really do rate the comments and the reviews, the 5 stars and whatever you can do.
So if you could go to iTunes or Stitcher and give us just a little review there, give us a few stars.
It doesn't have to be 5 stars.
No, you don't have to put 5 stars at all. In fact, people don't, which is fine.
Yeah.
If you don't think we're very good, then put that there as well. It all helps to raise our profile.
Yeah, as long as it's constructive.
Yeah.
Also, which really helps us, is if you go to our website at abhpod.com, there is an Amazon banner up in the top right-hand corner, and as Christmas is just around the corner, I just nicked your bit, Tom.
Thank you.
You can do your Christmas shopping on Amazon. If you click our banner, go to Amazon, then we get credited for those purchases you make.
Yes, and it doesn't cost you a thing, which is the best thing about it.
It costs you as much as you're going to spend anyway.
Well, yeah, but we get 5% of what you spend, which is quite nice, really.
Yes, it does help, because January's just around the corner and our web hosting needs paying for.
And we don't want to pay for it out of our own pocket.
No, we'd rather use Amazon's money.
Yeah, well, we want this to be a self-sustaining project, don't we?
Yeah.
Essentially, that's the point. So, just give us your money. In the words of Bob Geldof, except he didn't really say that. That's a misappropriation.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that is true. I heard that somewhere before. Anyway.
Wow. So this week there's no particular theme. We realised that we have missed a few things in the last few weeks where either we've been off on holiday or doing things where we've had to bank episodes and do them on themes and stuff. So
we're going to catch up on stuff we've spoken about, catch up on stuff that you've told us about on Facebook.
Yes, because and
Twitter. We
realised that we often don't we haven't been hot on the shouting people out thing.
No, I mean, we have the last couple of episodes we've done
true.
quite a bit, but not. There's people that contributed a few weeks ago that we just haven't.
And there's also some news stories that I know I've had for a couple of months. That I wanted to get around to doing a bit on, but just haven't. So this is like cleaning out the closet. Really, before we start doing some more themed episodes and maybe trying to keep on top of things.
I think we're going to start with more recent news that work our way back, I suppose, is probably the best thing. Obviously, the big news this week is the iPhone 5S and iPhone 5C release, which I did say about. I did say there was going to be 2, the 5S and the 5C, didn't I?
That's right, yes, you did.
And, I think, as people have mentioned on Facebook, I think it was... Who was it that said it wasn't actually a budget phone? Was that Johnny? Said nobody actually said it was going to be a budget phone. Or Apple didn't.
Just let me get to the... Oh no, it was Chris Osborne.
Chris Osborne,
He said the only people saying it would be a budget phone were tech journalists and analysts. The C stands for colour, not cheap.
Yeah.
They found a way to get rid of the same components that were being used in the 5 while still seeming to have released a new product. And putting ordinary components inside a colourful box has never failed them before.
And that is pretty much what my thinking was. Because everyone did think it was going to be a budget phone, but it's not. It is an iPhone 5. I really like this. This does upset me about Apple because it is an iPhone 5, and they're going to stop producing the iPhone 5, and they're just going to have the iPhone 5C now. Usually when a new iPhone comes out, the previous iPhone drops in price quite significantly.
Yes.
But now what they're doing is they're going to go, no, we're going to take all these components we've already got and we're going to keep making the phone, but we're just going to put it in a plastic phone and charge slightly lower than the price of a new phone.
Yeah.
So it's not significantly lower, it's only slightly lower. And I was looking around, because you can pre-order the 5C now, and I was looking on there, and it is pretty much the same price as the iPhone 5 is now, before the new ones come out.
Oh.
So it's in a plastic, but it's a plastic phone now.
It's just they're charging roughly the same for cheaper.
So if you're gonna get an iPhone 5C, don't.
What's the point?
Get the 5 because it's exactly the same phone for pretty much the same price, and it's in a hard, like it's in a metal shell.
Yeah, actually there was a tweet.
And just get a colourful case for it.
I retweeted a thing that was saying how you could choose your iPhone 5C or your iPhone 5 based on the colour, and it had the pictures of all the colour range.
I saw that
of the iPhone 5C, and it basically had all of it. They're in the colours of all the Power Rangers. So whichever was your favourite.
Yeah,
Power
one
Ranger,
was the Power Ranger. Yeah, the 5C was the Power Ranger.
and then the 5 is in black, white, and
champagne.
gold.
Champagne.
Champagne. And that's either you go for Darth Vader, a stormtrooper, or C-3PO.
Yeah, which is pretty perfect.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was, so I can't.
But yeah, if you're gonna go for the 5 because it's the same phone.
Yeah.
Essentially, and it's not a plastic phone. You don't get the choice of colours, but like I say, you go and get yourself a case for it, and it's the same thing.
I mean, there's been a lot of I think both Johnny Cobbing and Fred Gaffney as well.
Pretty underwhelmed.
Yeah. Freddie says that he couldn't be more disappointed by the 5C.
But like I said, I'm not disappointed because it's what you come to expect from the iPhone. It's slight increments. With regard to the improvement, and it's I've just kind of got used to it now. I don't get disappointed, and it's just kind of like if there's anything significant in there that I want, then yeah, cool. And I mean, it has actually got to the point where I'm kind of looking for my upgrade in the next couple of months. I'm like, do I really want an iPhone? I mean, and I love an iPhone.
This is the thing. Johnny Cobbing says, after 5 years of owning an iPhone of whatever variety, I've switched to Android on the new Sony Xperia Z, and I could not be happier.
That's what I'm looking at. The Z1 comes out about the same time, and if you pre-order it before the 20th of this month, you get kind of like an SLR lens for it.
Oh, really?
For the phone, you kind of hang it or clip it onto the phone, and it's got like a zoom lens, and it's really
cool.
odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but it's really odd. And I'm looking at doing that, but the only thing that's stopping me is my friends and the people I work with, because I'm such an Apple fucking fanatic. And I do, the thing is, I do think they are really good phones. They're still really good phones, and if I got it, I wouldn't be disappointed. I wouldn't be upset with it.
No.
It's just...
Do you feel that
it's
they
like
should be
paying
prestige?
that much money, again, for something that's only slightly better.
Yeah,
Whereas
and in a cheap case.
Well, I'd go for the 5S because I don't want the 5C. Like the 5S, I would go for because it's got the fingerprint scanner on it. It's like the security device. It's got it reads your fingerprints. Yeah. So when you unlock it, you just kind of click the button, hold your thumb over it, I think. Or there's a metal ring that detects your thumbs there, and it unlocks your phone. But it will only work for you.
That's quite cool.
And it is cool.
It's the ultimate locking.
But
isn't it?
It's annoying enough now when if Liz wants to use my calculator on my phone because she's got her bank statements up on her phone. So she has to borrow my phone for the calculator, and I'll give it to her to use, and then she has to hand it back to put in my PIN number. Now it's kind of like if she picks it up, she wants to use it, and then she has to come and hunt me down so I can put my fingerprint scanner on it. I don't know if they'd include some sort of you can unlock it with a passcode as well. But then what's the point in the fucking fingerprint scanner?
What's the point then?
But yeah, I mean, it is good. I mean, it's got a new flash, which is the True Tone flash, which is more natural colours. It's got a better camera, like it always has, and it's a lot faster. It's a 64-bit phone, which... I mean, why do you need that in your phone? But also, kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean,
but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might just keep my 4S, which is good phone, brilliant phone, and just
never had any problems.
Just
with
have a SIM-only contract on it. I don't know. I'm not overwhelmed when they release new products.
No.
But
are you going to be looking forward to the iWatch? Is that going to be the next thing where you can speak through your hand?
No, I'm not looking forward to that at all. I don't want an iWatch.
No.
I mean, I've had 3 watches in like 3 years. I don't want a watch. I work in a factory. I do not want a bloody iWatch.
No.
The only thing that might be good is an Apple television, but no, I don't think that'd even be any good.
No.
I mean,
what's the thing with Apple TV? I don't really understand it myself.
Well, I mean, you got Apple TV anyway, which is the little box, which is like a subscription service, which means you can get iTunes content on your TV.
Yeah.
The Apple television is just like a TV made by Apple that people are on about. So it'll have like a Retina screen, so it's super high definition, which people are coming out with anyway.
Yeah. It'll
have a camera built into it, but you can FaceTime from your TV, and it'll have a thing where it can follow your face around the room.
Yeah, see, that's
so
weird.
if you walk around, it zooms. Yeah, I mean...
I'm not so sure about that myself.
But then other TV companies are doing stuff like that. You can Skype from your TV. I mean, Microsoft are doing it with the Xbox One and the Kinect. You can Skype from your Kinect.
Yeah.
I mean, what everyone needs with all these bloody baby monitor hacking and the webcam hacking is more cameras connected to the internet around your house, isn't it?
Sci-fi has taught us that all these advances in technology eventually will end in our destruction.
Yeah.
So,
is it HAL or is it Skynet?
Yeah, exactly.
It depends where your sci-fi loyalties lie, really, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, kind of, underwhelmed to an extent with the Apple, but only in the sense that it's kind of what I was expecting, just a slight improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
the law of diminishing returns.
Everyone gets really excited for them, and it is meh.
It's like everything, though. People get really excited over films, and then they go to see them, and they're like, "Well, that didn't live up to my expectations." No, because you've blown it up to such a massive...
You had massive expectations.
Like Prometheus, for example, last year, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Ridley Scott's making a new Alien film. It's going to be amazing." And then everyone went and saw it and was like, "Oh, that wasn't what I was expected. I'm really disappointed." Why are you disappointed?
There weren't aliens in it because it wasn't an Alien film. Technically,
it's the origins of the Alien.
I had no expectations because the Alien films I watched years ago, and they're not films I've revisited like every year.
Really?
I want to.
1 and 2 are the ones worth going back to.
They aren't things I've revisited. I don't really do that a lot with films. The only film I ever did that with was the original Matrix, but I haven't even watched that in about a year or two now. But I didn't revisit Alien, so they kind of like... I love them, but they're kind of in the back of my mind. I don't have them on the forefront, so I wasn't expecting a lot when I went to see... Not expecting a lot in the sense, like... I didn't expect it to be good. Like, I had no expectations of what it would be.
I think that's the best way to go into films. Like, the most recent films that I've seen, I've tried to have no expectation going in at all.
Yeah.
And it's generally worked. Or films that I've... never really heard of before and go and see or have on the TV or whatever, you know, and I just flick them on because there's nothing else on.
Yeah.
And generally you come away feeling like, oh, that was pretty good. I've got some of those, but I don't know whether we're doing a separate show.
No, we might. No, I suppose we could. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how
happens,
this goes
because we're still in the news section at the moment.
Yeah. So the iPhone,
off.
the Apple conference, meh. Same old,
whatever,
usual. I don't like the way this new guy's taking it.
No, at the end of the day, Steve Jobs is gone. Someone else is taking over, and no matter how how set in stone Jobs' message was, it's always going to be perverted by someone else coming in and wanting to make more money. You know, at the end of the day,
drop me iPad. It was like I said to you last week or the other week. Steve Jobs said, never going to release a smaller iPad.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened.
Yep.
Never going to release a plastic, cheap-looking iPhone.
Has happened.
5 of them. 5 different colours. So, you know, this guy's kind of taking everything Steve Jobs said he wouldn't do. And it's well known that Apple experiment with things like this all the time. They've always experimented with, like, screens between an iPhone and an iPad just to see if they could do it, and they can. And now the guy's gone, well, we can do it, so why don't we? And he's always experimented with, like the watch device. It's stuff they've always experimented with, but Steve Jobs might never have wanted to release it if he couldn't get it to a point where he liked it.
Exactly.
That's the thing. He will experiment and he will get people to test stuff. If he doesn't like what they're doing with it, he won't ever release it. Whereas this guy goes, is that the best you can get it? Well, that's going to do.
That'll do. We'll churn it out and then we'll make revisions and it will be the
iWatch or whatever they're going to call it. iWrist.
Yeah.
Fucking iTime. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
Buy those domains at GoDaddy.
Yeah. Maybe we should start buying up.
Fucking. What do they call them? They call them vanity domains. Where you kind of, if you think of something that's funny or quite clever, you buy the domain just to have it.
Yeah.
With no intention of ever doing anything with it. Crazy. So meh on the iPhone front.
Yeah. I have some funny news. We were tweeted this by Joe on Twitter this week. 4x4 play. This is on the Metro website. 4x4 play. Drunk man caught having sex with Land Rover. So this guy Daniel Cooper from Wales, he was caught simulating sex with a Land Rover outside a kebab shop one night after.
Jesus.
He's been banned from going outdoors on weekend evenings. He's actually been given a curfew. It's brilliant.
Was it like by the police?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Basically what happened, Daniel Cooper is 24. He's since changed his name to Daniel Hotcock Cooper on his Facebook page, so go and check him out. I mean, the picture of him on the Metro website.
Was that Hotcock because he was fucking the exhaust pipe just after they fucking stopped driving the car?
But he's a picture of a man. You should go to the Metro website and look him up. Yes, on a drunken night out, he was caught grinding against a vehicle parked outside a takeaway restaurant on CCTV. Jobless father of 3 also mimicked sex with the counter of a kebab shop and urinated in the street during a drunken night out with friends on August 18th.
Okay, so it wasn't necessarily the car itself.
No, but he was caught doing it. And also he was, thrusting against the kebab house counter, and then he went and took a leak round the corner.
Jesus.
He lives in Holywell in North Wales. And one stage he lay. What was it? There's a quote here. He was seen to enter a kebab shop where he was simulating the sex act against the corner of the counter, said the prosecutor John Wild. One stage he lay on the ground and simulated the sex act. Then he did the same to a Land Rover Discovery vehicle which was parked nearby. Cooper, described as a responsible family man, was given a 3-month community order banning him from going outside between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. He told the court he's mortified and totally ashamed of his actions.
So he didn't technically have sex with the car?
No, he just kind of grinded against it. I think it was more the fact that he was causing a public nuisance. But
I was actually reminded, as you were reading that, that's why it seemed like I wasn't paying attention, because I just remembered something. Now, a few years ago on Channel 5, they actually had a documentary about men who did genuinely have sex with cars.
Yeah, and then got married to them and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, there's, what was it called? My Car Is My Lover. It was shown, I think it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, and the guys who genuinely have sex with cars.
Yeah.
Like, I caught the end of it, I think. But there's there's a man... Like on the Telegraph website, there's a story about a man admits having sex with 1,000 cars.
What a stud.
Is that the name of what it's called? Mechanophilia?
Probably, yeah.
It looks like. Mechanophilia is a paraphilia involving sexual attraction to machines such as bicycles, motor vehicles, helicopters and aeroplanes. So it's a genuine condition that people have. Fuck me. That's just... Yeah,
but I don't think this guy's got it. I just think he was
nuisance.
Just quite pissed and got it into his head that he wanted to start having sex with inanimate objects,
kind of Jay Muse style.
Yeah,
which Kevin Smith tells a story about. That's the first time you met him, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, just sucking off anything that looked slightly phallic
in the school library. But so this man is Edward Smith. Where does he live? Who lives with his current girlfriend, a white Volkswagen Beetle named Vanilla. Insisted that he was not 6 and he had no desire to change his ways. Yeah, it's a weird... Like, I know it's a condition.
Yeah, but...
It's still a bit odd.
Yeah,
it's something out of the ordinary.
It's something a bit strange. But I would say being curfewed on, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights in Wales is probably not as bad as being locked up for actually having actual sex with an animal, which is what happened to Robert Newman of Devizes on the 12th of September. So only a couple of days ago, Robert Newman was jailed for sex with a goat. He was. He's 23 years old. These are people in their early 20s. Because your man, just there, wherever he's gone, I forget where he's gone now.
Just close it.
No, I haven't. No, the guy from Wales, Daniel Cooper, was 24. This guy, Robert Newman, 23, assaulted the animal in a barn in Devizes, Wiltshire, in April. They've given his address and everything in this. This is the BBC as well. His address? Yeah. Robert Newman of Potton Road, Devizes, initially denied the charge, but later changed his plea. So they've named and shamed him and given the road that he lives on.
That's mental.
And so have I.
Oh well.
Yeah. Newman was jailed for 6 weeks for the attack, which North West Wiltshire Magistrates Court heard had left the goat needing veterinary treatment.
And the thing, he only got 6 weeks.
He tore that shit apart.
And he raped a goat, and he injured the goat, and he got 6 weeks in jail.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say how long Daniel Cooper is supposed to not go out on the weekends anymore, but I would
he's
imagine
just banned.
Yeah, it's probably more than 6 weeks, but 6 weeks in jail, for which he'll probably only serve maybe one.
Yeah.
The goat's owner, who wasn't named in court, their prosecutor read a statement saying this person has cost us a considerable amount of money because we've had to install security cameras. We've also had to pay for vets fees and antibiotics for the injury sustained by the goat.
That's mad.
His delay
sick.
in admitting the behaviour is because of the embarrassment and shame that went with it.
No shit. But they didn't say whether he actually got fined. I imagine he would, because usually you get fined with a jail sentence, don't you?
If you lose in a court case, you have to pay the fines, don't you?
I would have thought so. Do you actually pay the fines to the court? Do you pay the fine to the government, or do you pay the fine to the person? I would think he should kind of give the farmer a bit of cash to pay for the fucking vets bills and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got insurance to cover that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't actually say in this.
I don't know if
what happened.
Farmers insurance covers like a person raping your livestock. Actually,
yeah, I'm not really sure. It's just a bit fucking weird. I mean, like these people out in the sticks, they've got nothing better to do but hump cars and rape goats.
Fuck's
it's
sake.
Just
move to a town.
Yeah, you know, and
move to a nice built-up area.
Get a proper hobby.
It doesn't involve raping anything or anyone.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Whether it's an inanimate object or a sentient being.
Yeah.
Although Herbie was sentient, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you think that having sex with Herbie would be consensual or not? I mean,
he could tell you. Yeah, I don't know.
I suppose if it wasn't, he would like hit you with the boot.
It's Herbie blow white smoke out of his exhaust when he's finished.
As a little smoke.
Well, it's called the love bug as well, isn't it?
It was the love bug, yeah. I mean, it's asking for it, isn't it?
Yeah, there's this story. I don't think we mentioned it. I was meant to mention it a while ago about these two Scottish women who, was it Peru? They were caught for drug trafficking in Peru.
Yes.
And they were saying they weren't their plea was not guilty, and they were forced into it, and their families were threatened, and all sorts of shit like this. And they were holiday reps in some Spanish island, I would imagine. Yeah, Ibiza.
Yeah, there you go.
Ibiza.
The Balearics.
Balearic. But yeah, they're actually changing their plea to guilty now, which I thought originally was probably the
case. Yeah.
But the reason they're doing it, because they were caught with £1.5 million worth of cocaine.
That's quite a lot of cocaine.
That is a lot of cocaine. Because the story was because the story was the dad visiting the girl on her birthday. I think I wanted to cover it as non-news.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I don't think
did. That segment we did.
Oh yeah,
a while ago. But by changing the plea to not guilty, it's reduced the potential jail time from 25 years down to, I think, 8. Right. And she might only serve 6 or 3, or I can't remember what it was. It's something like that. And
for trying to traffic that much drugs.
Surely, this is the thing that gets me about, jail, because you're kind of I did it. Oh, we're going to cut your sentence by more than half now. Yeah. And that sentence that we're going to give you, you'll probably serve less than half of that anyway. It's just like
doesn't
£1.5
make
million
any bloody
worth of
sense.
cocaine, and they're kind of like, well, 3 years,
Yeah,
you'll be
whatever,
back out. I mean, she's saying she was still forced to do it, but she changed the plea because she thinks, obviously, if she pleads not guilty and she's found not guilty, they will have to try and find that gang, and that could still be dangerous to her. So by changing the plea to guilty, there's less incentive for the police to find the gang, and she might be safer that way. And it's just like, so is she guilty?
Yeah.
Or is she just changing the plea so she doesn't serve time?
She gets a lighter sentence.
So either way, well, I was going to say win-win, but if she is innocent and she's in jail for 3 years, that's not really a win-win situation.
She's been forced to plead guilty. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, it's the Brits abroad, isn't it?
Yeah. You can never trust us Brits
abroad. We're going to be trafficking millions of pounds worth of drugs.
Yeah, I just think reducing the sentence by that much just because she said, yeah, I did it.
It's a little bit too much.
Because there's only one of them that has been confirmed she's pleading guilty, and the other one they've hinted that she will be as well. She's
on the fence.
Yeah, Miss Reed's lawyer, Maya Fisherman, confirmed last night that a sentence of 6 years and 8 months was agreed in return for a plea of guilty during his meeting with the prosecutor. But the thing is, she's still going to be jailed in Peru. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think they said there's a chance she might get deported and jailed over here.
I think a couple of years in a Peruvian jail might be just as bad as 25-year stretch over here.
Yeah. But significantly better than a Peruvian jail for 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Skyscraper melts man's car. There's a new skyscraper being built in London. It's being dubbed the walkie-talkie skyscraper because it's kind of shaped like the old Nokias.
Oh, yeah,
It's kind of thinner at the bottom and then bulges out a little bit.
Yeah, I've actually seen that. I think I drove past that one.
Yeah, I was up there when it was kind of just started being constructed. It was nowhere near as tall as it is now. They really knock these things up really quickly now, don't they?
Quite worrying.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel
kind
about
of question how structurally sound something is if it's only taken weeks to put up, get up to like 200 stories. But basically what happens is it's concave as well.
Yeah,
so
on the front surface it's kind of curved.
So like a spoon,
yes,
if you like.
But that spoon is definitely there.
Yes.
That skyscraper.
There is no
Matrix.
spoon. But basically what's happened is at a certain point of the day, the sun hits the windows on the front of the skyscraper, and because of the shape of the skyscraper, it focuses the light back to a point down on the street, like a few streets away. And this fella, Martin Lindsay, had parked his Jag on Eastcheap, which is in the city of London, not too far away from this building. And about 2 hours later, he found parts of his car, including the wing mirror and badge, had melted.
Insane.
I mean, that's insane, isn't it? It's mental. It's there's some brilliant pictures. I mean,
I've noticed in the pictures of the Jag.
That's the rear panel there.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely melted.
It's warped all over the place.
And it's not like it's plastic that's melted.
No, this is metal, isn't it? It's it's a Jaguar. It's not made of the same thing as a smart car. A smart car would have just been a puddle when they come back to it. Apparently he said he was walking down the road and saw a photographer taking photos, and he asked what had happened. The photographer asked me, "Have you seen that car? The owner won't be happy." And he said, "I am the owner. Crikey, that's awful."
I'm sure he said crikey.
Yeah, I can imagine he had some stronger words to say, really.
God, the cost of those cars.
And basically he was saying, it would be really, really dangerous if the sun reflected onto the wrong part of the body of the car. I suppose like the windows perhaps would melt. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if it focused on the bonnet as well, and there was enough heat.
Setting the engine on fire.
If it was like specific,
it doesn't say quite how concentrated and how big the area is that it's.
Well, there was on a video I watched. There was because they've actually blocked off that parking space now. Nobody can park there.
Yeah.
But behind there, just a bit further up, because obviously I think it's for 2 hours of the day or an hour of the day. So as the sun's moving, the point moves with it, and there is a shop door, and it's got like a welcome mat material, and that's got a hole burnt in it. And it's quite big. It's like, I suppose, a tennis ball diameter.
I thought that was in this story, but it's not.
No, it was on the BBC News video, I think.
It's
on
right.
the video
Yes,
there.
That's right. It's on the video that's on the site. Yeah.
And then there's the other shop where the tiles under the window.
Yeah,
The grouting has like dried out so much that the tiles are lifting.
Yeah, like it's ruining everyone's business on which street is it?
Fenchurch is where the skyscraper is.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of roads behind,
it's
isn't
cheap.
it? Yeah.
You know. But yeah, they're suspending the 3 parking bays in the area which may be affected. And the developers have apologised to Mr. Lindsay and agreed to sort out the £946 repair costs. That's quite specific, isn't it?
And it's fairly cheap for a Jag, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to replace the badge, the wing mirror, and some of the bodywork. But there is like that picture of the bodywork on the Jag is...
That's totally warped.
And the panel is coming away at all ends.
And the thing is, like, you're going to be thinking to yourself, well, surely they would have done some tests.
You'd have thought...
They did.
Yeah.
So they knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, they'd actually looked into this kind of thing.
And they said, it's about an hour or 2 of the day, a specific time of the year.
Yeah, it's not going to... Yeah, it's only when the sun's out at a specific time of the year. So most of the time...
it's got to be at a certain height, in a certain position, at a certain time of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's just unfortunate that we've had this heat wave, because had it not happened, although maybe it is fortunate, maybe now, because this has been found out to have happened, I don't know what they can do. They can't get anti-glare stuff, can they?
Just wondering, well, you could. Yeah, like an anti-reflective material just to put on those windows that cause the problem.
Yeah, I suppose.
I would have thought. The only thing is, you got to wonder, like, if you walked past there with your shirt off, would you just get a suntan in a line as you walked through the sunbeam?
Just walk through the beam and get cancer straight across one particular part of your body.
No. Don't think that would happen.
No, probably not, but it would be quite funny. Just see all these people walking down London. Big red lines across them.
I can't stop yawning.
Now, I see this is the 3rd week in a row now.
Why?
I don't know. Now, someone who does contribute fairly regularly is a guy that we know called Federico Ribeiro. Fred.
Yeah.
And
he's got lots of names, but we only stick with the 2.
Yeah.
The boss, as we
boss,
used to call it. We called him. He is known to us.
Now he's contributed a couple of things over the last few weeks, and it's always on weeks where we theme. So we never.
And then
really
by the time
annoying.
it comes around to the next one, we've either forgotten or it kind of doesn't fit with what we're talking about.
So I'm going to do a couple of his because they always make me think a little bit. The things.
Yeah, he's a very thought-provoking.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's funny as well.
Yeah, I mean, for example, this one on the 5th of September was published in the Mail Online, Daily Mail.
I can't say the word. I'm not even going to try it.
But basically, what's happened here? A mum of 2 was ordered to leave a McDonald's restaurant for injecting herself when she was eating in there. And you might think, well, yeah, she shouldn't be shooting up in a McDonald's, but no, she's diabetic, so she was injecting herself with insulin to balance out the sugary shit and crap that McDonald's put in their food. Admittedly, she probably shouldn't be.
I was going to say the irresponsible thing isn't shooting up in a McDonald's. The irresponsible thing is being in a McDonald's when you're diabetic.
Yeah.
However, everyone's got the right to eat at McDonald's.
Exactly. Of course they do. It's a free country. We can do what we want within reason.
Is it free? Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do what we want as long as we're allowed to.
Yeah, so basically she ordered a Big Mac from the fast food chain and administered insulin to reduce her blood sugar level before tucking into her meal. Responsible thing. Yeah. Otherwise she'd have, I mean, you've got to take into account that people are going to be a bit weirded out by the fact you've pulled out a syringe and are starting to inject yourself.
And I mean, it's not a syringe. There's a guy at work that does it, and at lunchtime it looks like
it's like a pen, isn't it?
It's almost like a pen, and there's no like obvious needle. He kind of grabs a bit of his skin on his stomach, puts the pen, click the button, it pop.
Oh right.
And that's
it. When I was doing,
it's like a plunger. It's
yeah.
It is like a plunger, but it doesn't look like a needle.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And it's not she's doing it in her arm or anything. It's in the stomach.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I worked in a place once for, when you have to do work experience at school, when you're in like year 10 or whatever. I went to a place and a woman there was diabetic, and I was sat in there at lunch with her, and she was like, "Oh, you don't mind needles, do you?" And I was like, "It doesn't bother me," but yeah, she was diabetic and she got one out, and it's it's just one of those things. And like you say, if she's injecting into her arm with the tourniquet around her bicep, then maybe you've got grounds to chuck her out. But maybe ask her what she's doing first.
Yeah, that would.
She said, Mrs. Pike of Banbury said that this is Oxford as well, so like maybe that's got something to do with it, because Oxford's quite a posh place.
Yeah, but you would thought people in Oxford understood.
This is probably the most humiliating experience of my life, and something like this has never happened to me before. I was shocked. I'm type 1, so I need to use insulin before eating meals each day, and I kept saying the pen could not be tampered with, but they wouldn't believe me.
It's not allowed to open it up to prove.
That's right, yeah. There were children in the restaurant at the time, and they did not understand diabetes and what it means to me. Mrs. Pike has now received an apology from McDonald's after she was booted out of Bridge Street restaurant in Banbury. As a type 1 diabetic, she has to inject herself with insulin 4 times a day and monitor the food that she eats. Again, should you be in McDonald's if you need to monitor the food that you're eating?
I mean, like, they should kind of give us some like free Monopoly game pieces, really, shouldn't they? The McDonald's Monopoly.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Give her something that she could win, £250,000. Yeah. Or a car or something. She says some friends were saying that I should have gone to the toilets or somewhere private to do my injection, but that isn't the point.
No, I mean, I kind of see what they mean.
I don't see why I should have to do that when there is when this is something that is a day-to-day experience for me.
It makes sense. I mean, it's easy to say, well, maybe you should have gone to the toilet, but on the other hand, like, you're not expecting to get chucked out for it, so why would you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this here? Because, like she says, it's a day-to-day thing, so it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
But it does seem like the Daily Mail, or the Mail Online anyway, got some of their facts wrong, bearing in mind that the comments section was quite interesting. And that they originally, the reporter...
have they changed it since?
Yeah, they've changed it since.
I did read the original article.
One of the comments on there said that you don't take insulin to increase your blood sugar. You take it to keep your blood sugar from going too high when you eat. So obviously they've said that she did it to increase her blood sugar.
Yeah, I think when I read it, it did say that. It did say it.
And also they got the type of pen wrong. The pen that they said originally, an EpiPen, is for epinephrine, which is for something completely different, not insulin at all. It's not for blood sugar levels, it's for something else. I can't remember now.
Because that's one of the things you did look up because you wanted to get it.
No, it's for use to deliver adrenaline, for people.
So it's for people who are having like an
allergic reaction, like a nut allergy or something like that. So good on you, Daily Mail.
But it's the Daily Mail.
Yeah, but so really, if you're gonna be injecting yourself in a McDonald's, probably best to do it in a toilet or something.
Or go and tell a member of staff.
Oh, I'm just doing this. It's a thing.
Or
don't go into McDonald's.
Eat in a McDonald's.
Yeah, eat somewhere else.
I'm not epileptic. Fucking epileptic. Why do I keep saying epileptic?
I don't know.
EpiPen.
EpiPen, yeah.
It's epileptic. I'm not diabetic, and I try to avoid McDonald's. I do like a McDonald's every now and again.
It is a treat, but
it's not.
No,
it's not a treat for your body at all. It doesn't taste that nice.
No, McDonald's breakfast especially always seems like a great idea until you eat it. And then automatically your body goes, oh no, this is not good.
The egg in the Egg McMuffins doesn't taste like egg.
No.
The sausage in the Sausage and Egg McMuffin doesn't taste like sausage.
Has nothing to do with a pig.
The hamburgers don't taste like beef.
Nope.
It's like...
In fact, I knew someone once who worked at a McDonald's plant, and he said that they spray the taste onto the patties.
The actual thing
it's not what they taste like, which worries me. I would prefer to go to a Burger King or a KFC.
Yeah. I think the thing I love about McDonald's, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, the chips.
Yeah.
Sorry, fries. Whatever. American English.
Yeah, the kind of pappy.
I prefer those. I think that's just because of the amount of salt they put on them.
See, I try to stay away from salt.
But yeah, as you should.
Mm.
But yeah, Burger King's a lot nicer.
Yeah, I agree.
And we are limited to our fast food restaurants for anyone that's wondering, by the way.
Yes.
In the UK. Speaking of McDonald's, I have this video that I think someone posted on Facebook in general on their timeline. It wasn't necessarily a contribution.
Yeah.
But you brought up the McDonald's story. Mm-hmm. This McDonald's story is brilliant.
Okay.
I want you to watch this video. This woman was trying to order Chicken McNuggets from a drive-thru.
Right.
Holy shit! There's just Chicken McNuggets in my hand. I don't want to hear it.
It's 10:30 a.m. We don't serve Chicken McNuggets at this time.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Why not?
Because we do.
You know what? All the morning just fucking hiss at you.
Just get your ass out of the car. What's going on over there?
Don't you fucking run away from me, you family.
Man. God, holy shit.
I know. Don't make me assume my ultimate form. I will fuck you up. Wait, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna wreck you. Get the fuck out of here. What? I'm gonna try to screw you.
Look at the miss. Ma'am. Whoa. Stop, ma'am.
What?
Close that shit. Man, God, oh my God. What the fuck is this bitch on? Holy shit.
What's going on? Did she like get burned by her apple pie or something?
How fucking incredible is that? Oh my god. She really likes Chicken McNuggets. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, she's breaking the window now.
She ultimately hulked out. That was insane. That makes me feel angry.
That someone behaves like that.
Yeah. Like,
the idea was, it was, what was it, 10:30, did he say? I think it was in the morning.
10:30.
So they're serving breakfast.
Yeah.
Or was it 10:30 at night?
And she wants
remember.
Chicken McNuggets, but they don't do Chicken McNuggets because they're doing breakfast.
Yeah.
So she fucking flips.
Majorly.
That's insane. That's really, really ridiculous.
Like the woman
reaction.
she got out of the car and she was diving. Like if you're on YouTube, you'll have seen the video. But if you're just the audio, she got out of the car. She was leaning through the drive-through window and punching this guy in the face because she wanted Chicken McNuggets.
Someone because she wanted Chicken McNuggets. I mean, what a fucking freak.
Yeah.
Really. That. Ugh.
And then they closed the drive-through window, and I don't know what she got out of her car, but she smashed the drive-through window.
And she was saying stuff like, I'm going to eat your face and spit it into the gutter. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to come in there and wreck you.
It's just insane.
Does anyone need Chicken McNuggets that badly?
Like, I know we say McDonald's is nice as a treat, but like, that is an addiction. I think that's an addiction to McDonald's.
When it gets to that point that you're physically assaulting people for not giving you what you want. Like,
it wasn't just food she wanted though. It was Chicken McNuggets, specific Chicken McNuggets.
She couldn't be tempered down with the
no sausage and egg McMuffin. No hash browns.
What a freak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's fucking weird, man.
Mental.
Like,
oh, fuck me. Yeah, so what else did... Oh, yes.
Yes.
This story
This
from
is
Fred.
another one from USA Today. This is another one that Fred posted on the ABH Facebook wall, which you can do. We encourage this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because eventually we get around to talking about it.
Yeah.
I think he only did this week, though, mind you. So, we're coming up to date with these things. Iowa, the state of Iowa, grants gun permits to the blind. Which is ridiculous. Why would you do that?
Blind. Like legally blind.
Yeah, legally blind, which is if you have
like
a
tunnel
sight
vision
impediment.
or
So what are you supposed to say about it?
You can't really say a lot more, can you? In Iowa, blind people are allowed guns. It's the county sheriff Warren Wetherington who demonstrated for the Des Moines Register how blind people can be taught to shoot guns, and Jane Hudson, executive director of Disability Rights Iowa, who says blocking visually impaired people for the right to obtain weapons permits would violate the Americans with Disabilities Act. The federal law generally prohibits different treatment based on disabilities. I say they changed that law. I say they changed the act.
Or maybe like, how everyone's trying to be so inclusive about people with disabilities.
Yeah.
There are certain things that people with disabilities shouldn't be able to do. I mean, to be fair, the majority of people shouldn't be able to own guns.
No, like as far
general,
as we're concerned. Like the thing is, we can't have guns. Well, we can have guns, but only for hunting purposes. Hunting guns. Over
if
here.
you're a certified member of a gun club,
yeah, you can't have guns for self-defense.
No,
we can't just go out and buy a license.
No.
But obviously over in America you can, and I think part of owning the gun. I've never fired a gun, so I'm not obviously.
I've never fired one.
I don't know the specifics of like what it's like when like having a gun. So I would assume part of defending yourself with the gun is if you're in your house at night and you hear someone downstairs and you're scared and you're going and you grab your handgun or whatever. Part of the choice of whether to shoot someone or not is when you turn round, you assess the danger based on the person. Do I need to shoot them?
Yes.
Have they got a gun? If they've got a gun, I can shoot them.
Yes.
If they haven't got a gun and they're trying to run away, I won't shoot them. Obviously, being a blind person, you're relying on your ears a lot more to tell you where the person is. You turn round, has that person got a gun? Not sure. It looks like a gun. It could be a bat.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a weapon. Oh, they could just be holding my lamp that they're trying to steal. Like, not necessarily a weapon. Should I shoot them? Possibly. Like,
but like
you've got no like sight is a good way of assessing a situation.
Yeah.
If you're visually impaired, like you can't assess the situation as well as someone who can see. So it's like
it's such
mental.
a ludicrous thing, isn't it? I mean,
it could be your kid just coming late at night, so you had to break a window to get in. You could end up shooting your kid because you're not sure and you don't.
Exactly. It just it seems to me to be a little bit of a stretch for inclusivity. This, you know,
it's political correctness gone mad.
I wanted to stay away from that phrase, but
Fuck no, it is.
Where is it? Who is this speaking? Sergeant Jana Abens, a spokeswoman for the Polk County Sheriff's Department, says, "It seems a little strange, but the way the law reads, we can't deny them a permit just based on the one thing."
Yes, you can.
Yeah. If they can't see the target they're shooting at.
Like in England,
point?
the DVLA can deny them a driving licence.
Yeah, it's true. People with
and I
eyesight
imagine it's
problems,
the same over in America. If you can't see, you can't drive a car.
Yeah, and surely owning a gun is slightly more dangerous than owning a car. I mean, depending.
Yeah,
if you're blind, it's the same thing, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's more dangerous to own a car if you're blind.
Yeah, you can kill a lot more people.
Yeah.
In one trip. Yeah, but still, it is essentially the same thing. A car can be a dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. So can a gun.
I mean, and then again, you've got the sheriff of Delaware as well, the county sheriff, John LeClaire, saying, "I'm not an expert in vision. At what point do vision problems have a detrimental effect to fire a firearm? If you see nothing but a blurry mass in front of you, then I would say you probably shouldn't be shooting something."
It's pretty much kind of what I said, isn't it?
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Like,
although the way it's written there, it kind of is at one point, at the very beginning of that sentence, he seems to be saying there's no problem with it. And then at the end, he seems to be saying, yeah, they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, well, no, I think what he's saying is at what point does it become a detriment? So, like, yeah, they might be legally blind, but it's only very specific that, like, they can still see quite well.
Yeah.
Like, there's no easy way to assess.
As you say, if it's as he says, if it's a blurry mass, like you say, it could be anyone, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Or anything, or the person may not be armed.
Yeah, I think he's saying there's no easy way to assess it.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't say, right, you're legally blind, you can have a gun. You're legally blind, you can't have a gun. You can't, like, be specific to which person can have it. You can. I mean, like, visual impairment, like, there's ways to sort of define each impairment, isn't there?
Yeah. It just seems like a really stupid idea to me.
Yeah.
In general.
Technically, I'm legally blind. Because I've got glasses.
I suppose so, yeah. You have a
can...
visual impairment.
Yeah. So could I have a gun?
I suppose so, as long as you put your glasses on before you went and fired it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Which I guess if someone was breaking into your house, would you put your glasses on or would you just spring into action?
I mean, my sight isn't that bad without my glasses. It is, I suppose. Like, I don't know. Like, if someone broke into my house, I'd hide. I wouldn't go after them. Fuck it, yeah, take my PS3. Actually, when my PS4 comes, I might change my mind.
Yeah.
Mental.
No,
don't. I mean, I don't want a gun, so I can easily say no. Don't give legally blind people guns.
No, I just think that
what's your opinion? Not you, them.
Well, yeah, the
other people listening or watching.
Do you think blind people or legally blind people should be able to own firearms?
I know. I don't.
You know, comment. Let us know.
Like we say, I suppose it does depend on the severity of the impairment.
Yeah, I mean, a spokesperson for the National Federation for the Blind says there's no reason solely on the basis of blindness that a blind person shouldn't be allowed to carry a weapon. Presumably they're going to have enough sense not to use a weapon in a situation where they would endanger other people, just like we would expect other people to have that common sense. So
why the fuck do they need a gun?
Yeah, I mean,
this person is saying, oh, you can't not give them a gun. It's not like they're going to use it. Well, why do they want it then?
Yeah, exactly.
For self-defense.
Yeah.
Well, when does it become self-defense?
Exactly. It's a really, really difficult law to enforce, I'd imagine.
Someone breaks into your house, you're a blind person with a gun, that person is in danger, so you are using that gun. By having that gun, you are putting someone in danger. You're in a situation where somebody's life is in danger.
Yeah. It just seems really, really ridiculous.
I don't think... Oh, hang on. Wasn't the specifics... Wasn't it that they're allowed to carry a gun... Just carry a gun?
Yeah.
Not that own a gun. It's carry a gun out in public, isn't it?
Is it for public?
I thought it was... the law was to carry the gun... Like, have it on show.
Oh.
I can't remember now. That might have been a different story I was reading. Either way, whether it's in public or at home...
Like, what's the point?
Quite possibly not a good idea.
Yeah.
And why do they need it if they're not going to use it?
I mean, we have a gun crime problem in this country anyway, where it's illegal, but, like, where it's legal over there in the US, it just seems to be a rampant problem. Where people just go on these ridiculous sprees and stuff. And I know it's a minority, but still, like, if there were tighter controls on guns in that country, then there would be even less weird people going around massacring shitloads of others.
The thing is, it's not so much that people shouldn't have guns in that country, it's the type of gun that people have.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't need an automatic.
M16.
You don't need it.
No, you don't need you don't need an assault rifle. Even for hunting, you don't need an automatic machine gun.
Hunting, you need rifles.
A rifle, a shotgun, maybe a shotgun.
And for self-defense, you need a handgun.
Yeah. In your home, I think you should
a
only
reasonable
be allowed
handgun. You don't need a fucking Magnum.
No, you need a .9.
You need a
.45 even. I mean,
you don't need a huge gun.
Yeah. That's our stance.
Yeah.
We're sticking to it.
Wow. This is just like last week. It's gone well quick.
Yes. I have 2 more myself. What about yourself?
I don't have any more stories.
Righto. Well, Kevin Collett, your dad.
Yeah.
Sent us a.
We haven't mentioned him in a while.
No, we haven't, have we? And he still does tune in to the YouTube, I believe. He sent us something that disturbed me.
Yeah, it kind of freaks
me
out.
About an organism that I didn't know existed and now I'm terrified of. It's called a Bobbit Worm. And they can grow quite long, up to 3 meters, these things. And they live in the sea, in the bottom of the seabed.
Not an immediate danger to us.
No, but it's just one more thing to worry about.
Did you read the whole story, though?
Yes, I did.
About they can be transferred.
It's called a Bobbit Worm. It's a mix between the Mongolian death worm, which sounds bad enough to me, the graboids from Tremors, and the bugs from Starship Troopers.
I didn't realise the Tremor monsters were called graboids.
No, nor did I, actually. I just thought they were called
Tremors,
yeah.
Yeah, and
basically
and a rainbow, but it's really dangerous rainbow, like Mario Kart.
And it basically digs itself into the sea floor, only staying above a few inches. Only a few inches of its body stay above the surface of the
like
the
acting
seabed.
like a bait type thing.
And it basically uses its antenna to sense for passing prey, and when it finds something swimming by, it basically hyperextends its body out of the hole and snaps them in half, essentially, with these mouth parts called pharynx. and it does this. Like I say, it can split a fish in two with these jaws.
Something I definitely wouldn't want swimming around my feet.
No. And then it drags them down into the hole that they've burrowed, and God knows what goes on down there, because scientists don't know.
Yeah.
I would imagine because they can't send anything down there.
They assume that it's kind of got a chemical that kind of breaks
Yeah.
the organism down so it's easily digested.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Oh.
Why?
The deep sea is a horrifying place. But yeah, they were saying, what was it about?
Which?
The bit about transferring. They reckon that occasionally, like the London Aquarium, I believe, had a problem with fish going missing. And basically what it is, if you put, like, because they try to put in as much natural rocks and
into the,
and underwater flowers and stuff like that, plants, seaweeds and things, corals, thanks, as possible, to make it as much of a natural environment for the fish as possible. But yeah, the London Aquarium found that they had fish going missing. And basically what happened is they were completely flummoxed as to why it was that these fish were disappearing, because they can't just run away, they're fish. So they set bait out every night, which all disappeared, even the hooks that the bait was hung on, and eventually they had to dismantle the entire exhibit to take all the fish out, drain the tank, take all the rocks out one by one to hunt for whatever it was that was taking the bait. And they found a 4-foot long Bobbit Worm, which they then named Barry. That would, I mean, apparently the baby Bobbit Worm is quite small, but it grows really rapidly, and obviously if it's got a captive set of food, it will just grow and grow and grow, I guess. But
they hide themselves like when the babies, they hide in the coral. So obviously when they bring coral into the aquarium, they can't see the bobbit, they don't realise it's there because it's brightly coloured. Like,
it's only when all the fish go missing
and this thing gets to like 4 foot long.
But they reckon they can cut the damn thing in half as well, and it still survives. Or like to reproduce it can eject a part of itself that goes off and
up into
reproduces and then comes back and reattaches itself. It's again another thing that lives in this world that is just wrong.
Yeah, definitely wrong.
It's not terrestrial.
And that came off of the episode, the phobias episode.
It did.
About, I suppose it was like my fish phobia. Not fish.
Which actually we haven't done a recap on, because there were people. That
I've got it loaded up here.
There were people who emailed in just after we finished our episode last week about phobias. So we've got a couple.
All 3 of them. Like, it was 3, wasn't there?
Yes.
And they all have a common theme.
There was a common theme. Yeah.
Or 2 of them are the same thing. One of them very similar, and I think it kind of goes along with it. But there was the first one was Colin Kendall, who's scared of cotton wool and a fear of silence, or dislike of silence he's got. But cotton wool, which is the weird one, like the silence thing.
I can imagine that the cotton wool thing is probably something to do with the
You're
texture,
really going to do it, aren't you?
or the sound that it makes when it gets pulled apart.
Which is what you said.
Which is what I said.
Steve Croxton from
Smokey from A History of Misunderstanding.
He's got the same cotton wool thing, and Tom said, "Is it the feel of it or the noise it makes when you tear it?" And he said, "Just reading that sentence just sent a shudder through me." So I guess that means both.
I really wish that I had a load of cotton wool here that I could just pull apart.
But I've got that thing where where people kind of put material like cotton in their mouths and they kind of squeeze it between their teeth. That puts my teeth on edge. And the last one was Phil Clark, who's scared of towels and other fluffy things that get caught on your fingernails. So cotton wool would
also fall into that category.
And I've got this vague memory of talking to Phil at a party, and he said about his fear of towels, and he also said about a fear of ghosts, but like cartoonish ghosts, like ghost sheets over your head type ghosts. And I said, what would happen if somebody came at you with a towel thrown over their head?
Going,
yeah. And I think that scared the shit out of him. I'm sure it was him that said like the ghost thing. But yeah, that I might have just made it up and just said about the towel thrown over the head. But yeah.
I like it. So yeah, we did have a few more correspondence on that, and we'd like to thank every single person who corresponded last week again. Yeah. Because we had a bumper week last week. We had a good week for listenership and stuff. So all your interactions help.
Yeah. Should we go on to the ABCs?
Oh shit, we didn't do it, did we?
No. Did you want to? We got 10 minutes, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's all right. I'd completely
You've got another 10 minutes, haven't you, people?
Yeah, come on.
The ABCs of ABC.
That's really quiet. I'm not going to live with that. I want that louder.
We couldn't just boost it in post.
Probably. Why was that so quiet?
The ABCs of ABH. What letters today?
T.
Well, that's
that was a poppy sound, wasn't it?
We could have boosted that in post, but it's funnier if we don't.
What's your T, Ant?
My T was pretty much what you were just doing, because I'm going to cheat and say thanks.
Oh, right.
To everyone.
Oh, right.
I know we did it twice on Facebook this week, and you've just done it now, but I can't think of anything else.
But we can't
I could have done Tom.
Enough. Yeah, but I didn't do Ant. So.
No, and it just seems a bit like, what could I say with friends? You hear us talking every week. But yeah, thanks just to everyone, because like we've really noticed as well, our downloads this week have just been mad.
They have.
Like the downloads we've had this 1 week have equaled what we've got for like the 2 or 3 weeks on the other episodes. So I don't know where it's come from, and I imagine it is just like Tom's saying, your interaction. Like I think the phobias, the response we got from the phobias tweet where you asked for phobias, and people just sharing it with friends, and Nerd Church obviously mentioning us on their podcast, being like amazing, and History of Misunderstanding and keep bringing us up, and I think all of that is just really helping us. So
thank you very much for everything.
It is brilliant, and it kind of, like I said, it gives that kind of validation.
Yeah,
you need validation. It's nice to, when people interact on Twitter and stuff, it's nice, but when you actually see a measurable sort of difference, it makes you feel better about doing it. It makes you want to do it more. It makes us want to do this program and put more effort in.
Yeah.
As you can tell from the fact I didn't have a tea.
But it's kind of like the way with the hospital radio thing that I do on a Sunday evening as well. Like the other week, we got a couple of people phoning down to the studio, which rarely happens. It does. Yeah. But we got like 2 or 3 people phoning in, and repeat callers as well. And then right at the end of the night, the phone went off as I was shutting down the show. Yeah. And one of the guys had just texted the number, and he said, well done for your picks tonight, really enjoyed the show and stuff. And it's the same thing with this show, when people actually type in.
I think one of my favourite ones actually is Annie. She tweeted like a few weeks ago, it was now, kind of like re-listening to Anywhere But Here podcasts. Yeah. And it's just like, you can listen to them more than once.
Going back to it.
Like,
and that kind of,
that's kind of like, really nice. They must be alright then.
Yeah. I guess.
And we're not asking you to go, yeah, you're great, we love you.
No.
It would be nice, but we're not asking for that. We're just asking you to let people know and just contribute. Like when we ask.
Because the thing is, you never know. Like, some of your friends might find this really, really interesting.
Yeah, if you think, it's all right, but you share it, one of your friends might think, oh, that's brilliant. That's just
and then they might tell their friends, and that's.
And then we can pay for a hosting in January.
We're just out for ourselves.
Yeah, we just want money. The troll was right on YouTube.
The troll was me.
False interactions. Yeah. So we get bloody higher up in their listings.
But in all seriousness, thank you very much for all your patronage, I suppose. Having a listen and getting involved and validating the reason that we do this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What's your tea?
My tea is.
Follow that,
I feel
bitch.
that. Yeah, no, I know. I can't do it now. I don't know whether I should because that.
Just
was,
do it.
You know,
We don't want another
it's,
week.
It's essentially Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Because that was a big part of my childhood.
The franchise?
No.
On a whole, I mean.
Yeah, on a whole. Computer games, the original TV series and movie.
Yes.
I cried when Optimus Prime died.
You died?
I was
No, I'm joking. No, I've seen it, yeah.
Incontrollable. Yeah, spoilers for a movie that was made in 1985. And a cartoon at that.
Yeah.
Just fucking brilliant. And I had such high hopes for Michael Bay's films when they came out, and I did really enjoy the first one.
Yeah, I think the thing with those films, again, it's usual Michael Bay. They're impressive, not necessarily good.
But I think what's happened is it's the law of diminishing returns again. Like, as soon as you've seen it that first time, it's fucking brilliant. That first film, my God, seeing those giant robots transform and all the rest of it, wicked. When you step back from it after the first initial spectacle,
And you're watching it for the story this time.
"Oh, and there isn't one.
No.
And all the characters are hateful.
Well, the first one, you're kind of like, fucking, yes, Optimus Prime, there's a truck and he's transforming. There's Megan Fox in in those shorts washing that car.
Yeah, bent over a bike.
Yeah, and you're just
Or
like...
is that the second one? No, that's the second one, isn't it?
Yeah, the bike's the second one, I believe. But yeah, and you're just like... And Bumblebee transforming from the old
Camaro into
the new one, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, very clever. But... yeah, as they've gone on, they've got less and less interesting.
I saw one, I saw two. Dark of the Moon I've avoided, like the plague.
Yeah, it's not good. And they're making a new one, and Marky Mark's going to be in it. Mark Wahlberg.
I think the thing with the Transformers, it suffered the same thing that Dark Knight Returns did.
Yeah.
Where, like, the first one done really, really well and people loved it. Oh, you can make another one. Oh, that means we've got to come up with another story. Oh, the second one did alright. You got to make a third one. We've got to come up with another story.
Shit.
Like Batman, the trilogy was like he had it already in his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had 1, 2, and 3 planned, and then Heath Ledger died, so 3 went out the window, and he was like, "I'm not doing it." And then they said,
You have
to. Here's as much money as you want. You can make whatever film you want. You have to make a third one." And then he came with that, which was good.
I think it's a really good film, but it's not as good as...
No, it's very... it does kind of have a rush, kind of like, the story's a bit...
Yeah. There are gaping plot holes.
Yeah.
But nothing on a par with Transformers.
No.
But my problem with it was that Michael Bay just didn't embrace the colour scheme properly.
No, that's true.
Because the thing is, all the Decepticons look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
All of them are grey, and all of them are a bit spiky and don't actually look like the things they then transform into.
No, that is one thing.
Yeah, the Autobots are quite good in that respect, in that they're all different colours. They're not proper, but...
they're not as they should be, no.
No, but... The problem was with the Decepticons, but also the sense of scale. Because you're watching it from a person's point of view, you can't see what's going on because everything's too big and moving at a rate that you just can't focus on, especially when it goes into 3D because it just blurs all over the place and it's utter shit.
I didn't watch any in 3D.
No.
I couldn't watch that in 3D.
No.
And it's like Corky said, like, when it comes to the fight scenes, the cameras are too close to the fight. You can't see the fight.
That's right. Whereas... Guillermo del Toro doing Pacific Rim,
everything was wide shot.
Everything's wide shot. Although you lose the sense of scale in a way, you can see what's going on, and that's the point. You want to see the robots.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Pacific Rim, the backdrops for all the fights is a city, so you do kind of have a sense. I mean, obviously it's far away from the city,
there's
so
a lot
you kind
that's
of lose.
in the sea though as well.
Yeah, that's true. We won't go into the deep sea. No.
But
and the fact they must be in stilts underwater to be standing there in the middle of the ocean and be that far above
especially
the water.
Especially as they submerge later on in the film as well.
It's
but still a better film than any of the Transformers films.
Maybe they're treading water as they're fighting.
But yeah, it was something that I really liked. I wasn't disappointed with the Michael Bay one until the second and third films.
Yeah.
The first one I still think is pretty good.
But Transformers, toys, cartoon.
The toys, I had so
games.
many of the toys. I always wanted the unicorn one though, the massive unicorn. But I could never afford it, and my parents.
I know I had a Prime.
I had an Optimus Prime. I had Ultra Magnus as well. He was the car transporter. the actual toy for that was massive because he does actually stand. His legs are the car transporter. So
I think my cousin might have had that one.
It stood about 10 inches tall. It was
huge.
Ridiculous. The Bumblebee is the proper bug as well. That was pretty cool. They were brilliant.
Yeah, childhood Transformers. The Michael Bay franchise has kind of
ruined
it a little bit.
Yeah, but I try to think of those as completely separate things.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, so that's mine, but I should have gone first, I feel.
Nah, that's all right.
Shall we leave on a heartfelt note?
Yeah.
7-year-old from America, Dexter, he wrote to NASA a couple of months ago. This is one of those stories I've been sitting on for a little while. And he said that he's ready to fly to Mars.
Oh, really?
But he's 7, so he can't. And he said that he wanted NASA to be aware that he's available in the future for any of their future missions and stuff. I love this story. It's great. And NASA responded. They sent him some stuff, and it's brilliant. If I'd have got this, I'd have probably
cried.
Died. Yeah, I'd have been like, oh wow. But what they sent him was basically a really encouraging letter.
Obviously, it's a fucking slideshow on that website.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. But they sent him back a letter. Oh, it's going to have to be the slideshow, isn't it? Because they don't actually put any of the stuff in the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
And it's not going to work. There we go. So his original letter says, "My name is Dexter. I heard that you are sending 2 people to Mars, and I would like to come, but I am 7, so I can't. I would like to come in the future when I do need to... What do I need to do to become an astronaut? Thank you, Dexter." And then he's drawn a little picture of himself and another astronaut in a shuttle down the bottom there, which is quite sweet. So NASA then sent him back a letter.
It's being so slow.
Oh, man.
There we are.
On behalf of NASA, thank you for writing us a letter. NASA wants you to know that your thoughts and ideas to further space exploration are important, and we hope that you will continue to learn all that you can about NASA's space programs, missions, and accomplishments. Just think, in a few years, you could be one of the pioneers that may lead the world's activities for better understanding of Earth and for exploring space. Below are websites that contain resourceful information about NASA's space programs and activities. If you or your school does not have a computer and that connect with the internet, perhaps you can visit a local library and use one of their computers. And they give a few websites. Again, thank you for your letter. Your interest in NASA is appreciated. NASA wishes you every success in earning good school grades and encourage you to keep reaching for the stars.
I love the way they've mentioned school.
Brilliant, yeah. And then they sent him like a poster of Mars.
Yeah,
which is quite nice, and some other things like a poster of the Mars Curiosity rover, and some stickers and stuff like that. And there's a picture of him there with his posters and stickers and stuff.
Awesome.
And I just think that's
so cool. But the amazing thing about that is that is going to have a permanent effect on his life.
Yeah, man. I hope he does become an astronaut. This Dexter kid. I mean,
I don't know if there's still a fucking space program.
Well, there should be. There should be no way that people should shut down the space program. But I really hope he goes on to become an astronaut, and I think that's it's such a good thing for NASA to do, is respond to this handwritten letter from a child.
Yeah, I mean, they have education centres and everything, don't they? I think
do.
So.
Yeah. So good luck to Dexter.
Yes.
And I think that'll do for Anywhere But Here this week. I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Anywhere But Here podcast. Well, that's an hour of your life you won't get back.